Awesome. We are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Horizen Weekly Insider number 119. Today is Monday, January 3rd of 2022, the first Monday of the year. So thanks for joining us live here on Discord and YouTube. And please be aware that as usual, we are recording this call and it's going to be available for you all to check out later in our Horizen podcast. Also, please remember to ask your questions on Menti for the team. We're going to be sharing the link here on the Discord chat, and we can answer the top 3 questions at the end. Let's kick it off right away with our first update from the engineering department. I'll welcome Alberto to provide us the updates. Welcome, Alberto.
Thank you, Angie, and Happy New Year to everybody. Okay, so regarding the activities we are bringing on the circuit side, last week we finished applying the changes that were requested during the first level of code review on the seize sidechain withdrawal circuit. And these changes have been reviewed again, and everything looks good, so we can now proceed with the final code review. For what regards the Blaze SDK side, last week we performed several tests related to the integration of the seize sidechain withdrawal circuit. Also here, all is fine, so we can now proceed with the final code reviews of the Java part. And these were the main, activities related to the SDK, because, with this release, we are also provide the way for withdrawing from a seize sidechain, and this, it was implemented both on the Blaze SDK version and the regular one. Okay, always related to the SDK, we updated our sidechain test framework so that all our Python tests are now compatible with Python 3. That is the latest release of Python. A pull request is open and is now going through the intermediate review process. Okay, now let's switch on the Zendoo part, where we are preparing a couple of announcements to be included in the upcoming release with the next deprecation cycle. And also on the Zendoo side, we are doing the same work for Python, where we are updating the Python tests to be compatible with Python 3. And last but not least, on the proving system side, a couple of updates where we are continuing to work on the accumulator that replaces the inner sum check. That is, a quite expensive part of the proving on the proving side. And this is an intermediate step required for the full DALI implementation, and one of the last parts to achieve the completion of the milestone 1 of the project. The design is finalized. We're working on the implementation, and we are targeting this week for its accomplishment. And again, on the proving system side, we are detailing an optimization on the number of constraints needed for simulating the arithmetic of fields with modulus of special form. So if you have a specific, a modulus with specific characteristics, we can have some optimization that we can apply. And these optimization are going to reduce the number of constraints, and for example, for the seize sidechain withdrawal circuit and for the ZKO sidechain and more. All the in many cases where we have to simulate the arithmetic of another field. Obviously, if it has some specific form. So that's it for today. Back to you, Angie.
Thank you so much, Alberto. Let's continue with Jonathan for the growth updates.
Hey, everybody. Happy 2020. I wanted to wish everyone a happy new year and hope everybody got to spend some time with family, relaxing, taking some time off. I wanted to give a quick update on something we haven't talked about in a long time, which is wallet downloads. Oh, yeah, 2022. Thanks, Lucy. So wallet downloads. So I'm just pasting a little screenshot here. This one has the correct date on it. So congratulations to us. We just recently surpassed almost 220,000 downloads of Sphere by Horizen. which is pretty cool considering, one, that we don't have a mobile wallet, so this is purely desktop, and two, there are so many wallets out there, and somehow we've still managed to gather over 220,000 downloads of Sphere, which I think is a really good win. So yeah, I see all these 2020 comments coming in. So thanks, Erica. And anyway, yeah, so the focus this year for me on growth is going to be, how do we continue to utilize the community hub to continue letting people learn and use more of the Horizen products that we're putting out throughout the year. So Lucy, Erica, and I are brainstorming ways how to tie those even closer together with Horizen. So that's it for me. Thanks, and have a nice 2020. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Let's continue with Vano for the VD and operations updates.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Today, I wanted to update regarding Koinomi's Zen integration, as we are getting lots of questions about it. And together with the Koinomi team, we have been working on a fix. And although the integration is technically fixed and working, Koinomi users need to update applications both on Android and iOS. And according to them, update should be available in relevant app stores later this week. So for everyone who wanted to continue using Koinomi for managing their Zen, should be able to do so very soon again. Yeah, probably later this week, for sure. That's all from me. Back to you and Jim.
Thank you, Vano. And let's continue with Rosario for some product and engineering updates.
Everyone, Happy New Year. I'm energized for 2022 and hope you all had a nice holiday season surrounded by your loved ones. 2021 was a momentous year for us with the delivery of Zendu and supporting our partners with integrations such as Koinomi, as Vano just mentioned. Shout out to Eureka for that seamless integration with Koinomi. So appreciate your help and all the help with the Zendu integrations. I won't speak too much, and I know I'm sure that Rob will have a very inspirational speech about what's coming for 2022. But I do want to remind everyone what our focus is from the product side. So with the delivery of Zendu, now we are able to have sidechain systems in production, and the cross-chain transfer protocol that is available and very revolutionary for the industry. But now what's next? What's next is we are going to be building out our ecosystem. We are currently working on a tokenization sidechain, and we'll be launching our first token on the Horizen ecosystem with Zenny, and you'll have more information on that. So we are racing to have fungible and NFTs on our ecosystem. So you'll be able to see that. And then Rob will probably have more details about the EVM chain and what all of that is going to entail. But I do want to remind everyone that that's really our focus and what we're going to be working towards. We also are going to be, you'll see some media about this, but we've completed the proof of concept for ZK audit with our partner Celsius, and now we are in the process of having them install the node and do all the DevOps portions for that. So Happy New Year, everyone. I'm very excited for what's coming, and that's it for now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Rosario. Now let's welcome Rob for the leadership updates and the Q&A session.
Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. And also welcome to some of our new team members and community who are joining us today. Last year was kind of a whirlwind for us. It was pretty nonstop, and we were working like dogs with some really big deliverables. So the first thing that I recommend for everyone to do, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out the 2021 Year in Review blog that the marketing team put out there. And you'll see just a big list of things that we accomplished in 2021. And I'll tell you personally, we do so much all the time that it's really hard for even me to keep track of everything that we're doing. That's a good thing. So it's always good to have these consolidated posts where you can see really one spot everything that we did, or not even everything, because there's so much more that happens to enable these big ticket things. But at least you can see some of the major deliverables. And on that note, we delivered Zendu. All right, so this is something that we have to be extremely proud of, and is going to become much more real in 2022. And by that I mean Zendu that was delivered was really a massive back end code improvement to what was Zendy, and now it's Zendu. And what it gives us really is the possibility of having many, many different types of arbitrary sidechains, or I would say things that are interoperable or communicate with our main blockchain. Right. So before we had a blockchain that really hosted a cryptocurrency and was very limited on other types of applications that could be built. Now we have a completely flexible, generalizable protocol on which many, many different things can be built. Well, that sounds very academic until you actually build things. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be focusing really hard on delivering now the core, or I would say the basics of what a blockchain ecosystem needs, or a crypto ecosystem needs. So this is why we're going to be racing towards a tokenization platform, and why we're going to be pushing hard as well for smart contracting. And I'll get to that shortly. But just to round out some of the major things that we did in 2021, beyond Zendu, we also raised a bunch of money as an ecosystem. And by that, I mean Horizen Labs closed a seed round. We had pipeline marketing, launched, raised money. We had a whole bunch of treasury rewards that have been funding development. And also we have reserves now. And we have ecosystem partners that came in. We had ecosystem partners like MXC that launched their Pioneer Fund, and they're committing a large chunk of that capital into the Horizen ecosystem. This was a PR we released several weeks ago, along with Zendu. That and some other internal things that we're going to be announcing shortly. There will be tens of millions of dollars at minimum devoted to building out this ecosystem in 2022 and beyond. We've built out a brand new team in New York and grew out our Milan and global teams significantly over the last year, and that's just a start. So our plans this year are to, at minimum, 2x what we've done last year, and probably realistically 4x the team size. We have a lot of positions that are currently open, and a lot more positions that will open in the very near future. We're going to be building out brand new teams within the organization, teams that are going to be doing very specialized things, and teams that are going to be doing things that you may not even think right now that we're going to have to do. So things like, we know that with our EVM launch, we're going to want to race to get a whole DeFi ecosystem out there. And there's a whole bunch of components there that we're going to want to get teams in place ahead of time to be able to race and build once these things go live. Our SDK has been evolving as a product. And over the last year, in particular, the second part of last year, you heard about things like PGD, pretty good decentralization. You heard about an optimized version of that called Blaze. You heard about Lattice development that's been ongoing with a couple of white papers that were published last year. And we have ideas for even taking that beyond. We have some real use cases that were completed last year. Like Rosario mentioned, the POC with ZK Audit. That's our auditing product that uses our sidechain system to snarkify Bitcoin to make the digital asset reserves, at least in this case, Bitcoin, that Celsius manages, auditable and provable to their community, really to the public. Right, so this is a really powerful use case using our technology in a very interesting way that goes beyond things like EVMs that are very well known and understood in our industry, and takes our technology and solves a specific business case that's really important in the digital asset world and exemplifies our unique technology to make it happen. And I have to say, we have so many partnerships and cool kids that we're working with as an industry, from the Bored Ape Yacht Club to Celsius Network and really everything in between. So 2021 was really a powerful year. But what's coming next, and we've been ranting about the next two big things that are happening in Horizen. Yes, tokenization. So we know every good crypto ecosystem needs tokens, right? Both fungible and NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We're going to get that soon. So that's we have a team currently working that's been working at for the last couple of months. And we're going to have a platform available on testnet in short order, and then look to migrate that to mainnet as soon as we can. The EVM for smart contracts is a really important project that we haven't yet kicked off, but Alberto and team have been thinking about design. That's the first step, and we're pretty confident of at least a path forward, and confident that really there are no big surprises along that path, and it's something that we're going to be putting a lot of resources and attention to making happen as quickly as possible. The important thing about the Ethereum virtual machine, or virtual machine in general, is that we will have more flexibility and people being able to program blockchains, really smart contracts into blockchains in a flexible way. But the Ethereum virtual machine in particular is so important because it makes us compatible with the Ethereum ecosystem, which is really where almost everything's been happening. And I know in 2021 in particular, 2020 as well, there have been several other major blockchain projects that have had quite a bit of success, in particular in terms of, say, like token price, coin price, valuation. But really, the bulk of everything that happens in this industry has thus far been in the Ethereum ecosystem. And being compatible with that ecosystem as a first step is absolutely critical. And that's why we're focusing heavily on this project. But it doesn't stop there. So in 2022, we're also going to be pushing really hard on better open governance as an ecosystem. This is really important to me because if we're going to be actually resilient, we very often think about just the technology, the products that have to happen in a blockchain or crypto ecosystem. But governance is absolutely critical. If this is going to be an open, resilient, enduring project, we have to keep investing in the open governance. Right? This is something we have to make resilient. It's something that we have to continue expanding on. And we have to have a credible and relatively proximate duration path towards the DAO so that we can really open things up. We have other things, and I've spent the last couple of Weekly Insiders going into some detail on them. Things like, yes, we know we need to modernize the main chain. There are things that we need to do, things that we want to do, and things that are absolutely critical to send through our open governance framework. Like the Zen improvement proposal system is where you're going to see some of these these ideas for main chain improvements in the future pass through. So keep an eye open for that. But we certainly want to focus on some big projects because we can't, as an ecosystem, if we're going to not just survive, and we don't want to just survive, we want to be relevant and we want this to be an extremely valuable ecosystem for its users. Things like the EVM, things like tokenization are just necessary things. But it doesn't stop there. We have to really focus on R&D and focus on really where the industry is going so that we position ourselves properly for the future. So we're not just playing catch up. We're actually getting out onto the forefront. And on some things, we are absolutely on the forefront. With Zendu, we're on the forefront. With things like ZK Audit, we're on the forefront. But then when it comes to things like provable smart contracts, we have a lot of work to do. The industry has a lot of work to do, but we're going to participate in that. We want to be one of the industry leaders on it. So also expect some interesting R&D projects to take place in 2022, or at least to kick off in 2022. Now, to make this happen, we're going to be on a bit of a hiring binge. Now, caveat, foot stomp, a responsible hiring binge. Right? We are way understaffed, even just to do the very basics of what we need as an ecosystem. And if we're not delivering at the pace of which innovation is taking place in the industry, we're just constantly falling behind. So we have to make sure that we're delivering ahead of the innovation schedule of the rest of the industry, which means we need to really beef up our team. We have to beef up the way we do business. We have to get more efficient with how we do business, and we have to just hire a lot more people. We're also going to be building out our Ukrainian operations. This is something I'm extremely excited about because it will help us tap into a whole bunch of other talent that thus far we've been working on a contract basis. We have some personnel in Ukraine. The talent is just too good that we have in-house not to make use of that team to really scale itself up. So this is something I'm really pumped that we're going to be doing. And we're just going to be restructuring or continuing to structure more efficiently how we do business. This is something that every year you hear me talk about, and we've been doing a pretty good job, I would say, starting from 4 or 5 years ago to where we are today, getting much better at how we do business, but we can always do better. We're always going to be improving. And as we scale, just how we do operations needs to change naturally, right? So we need more management depth. We need to continue empowering team members and community in particular. And the EVM is going to really, really open up the door for more community developer participation. We're going to continue investing in DevOps. We're going to be beefing up our CI/CD, our deployment processes, and so forth. So we're getting better and better at how we do business. Just the kind of tactical, in the weeds, how we operate is really important, right? Strategy is really important. Making sure we have the right North Star that we're pointing the organization and community towards, extremely important. But also the tactics are critical. How we execute is really critical because if we can't operate and execute on the big visions don't matter. So we're going to be doing many things in parallel, and we need, in order to do that, we need autonomous teams with leadership, management, aggressive team members that can deliver in an intense environment. I think we're pretty battle hardened as a team, as a community. We've been through a lot, and 2022 is, like I keep saying, the year where really the big dreams that we had are going to become real. And I could not be more excited, more pumped up. So Angie, maybe we can pause here and open it up to any Q&A that we might have.
Of course. Thank you so much, Rob, for the updates. Let's see, we do have a couple of questions directed to you, so maybe we can take a couple of more. The first one is, did Rob improve on his big 3 lift numbers, squat, bench press, deadlift?
Oh gosh, no, I wish. This last 2 years have been pretty bad for my gym participation, but I did buy a pull-up bar for my house, and that has been absolutely lifesaver, I would say, during the pandemic years. So I could do a lot more pull-ups than I used to be able to do, but those big 3 are not looking too good.
Awesome. The second question is, what is Rob's New Year's resolution?
Oh, I have a lot. So, you guys can probably tell I'm pretty obsessed with what's going on here in Horizen and with Horizen Labs. So a lot of New Year's resolutions there, but really it's about kind of getting deeper, more entrenched in terms of making sure that we leave an enduring, sustainable organization out there, and that means opening up. That means better governance. It means expanding community participation, and it means making things real on the product side. So we have to actually have real products that are tangible, making people's lives better, and they're not just shuffling funds around. They're actually, performing services and that people need, can't live without. And I think that we've been investing heavily in the last few years on the core underlying technology to enable this stuff. And now we need to focus heavily on the products and really just make these things real. I do have some personal ones, but I don't know, maybe I should blog a little bit about some of those. But I do live in Latin America, and I intend to get my Spanish better for a Spanish-speaking community. That's one of them.
Awesome. The third question is, what is the team's biggest goal for 2022?
Growing a team, I would say. So, really, it's this is, we have the technology goals, we have the product goals, we have the governance goals. In terms of the team goals, it's really, I'll tell you, my philosophy is this organization is really, I know it sounds cliche, but the way that I view it is it's kind of an org owned and operated by its team. And I know that sounds a little weird because we do have formal corporate structures like the nonprofit corporation, we have a for-profit corporation, and so forth. But really, the way we operate is this is your company, this is your org, and I want to continue empowering our team, and I want people to think of this really as their calling. And that to me would be the most fulfilling thing, is if this goes beyond just a job, where people think of this as more of a calling, and they really just buy the vision, they love the impact that we can make in people's lives, which, by the way, we need to continue improving and expanding that impact that we are having, but we've laid the foundation. So now it's really a matter of building those products and apps and empowering people. So that's what I would say is an organization goal. I want to keep empowering our team. I want our team members to keep growing. I want them to really choose where they want to go professionally and personally. And I hope that this is it. I hope this is the ecosystem that they want to stay part of.
Great. Another question is, when we will have the 2022 roadmap?
Oh my gosh, I could probably apologize for the 50th time on this one, guys. I am very sorry for this not being published yet. It is essentially complete. We just need to clean it up and make a nice graphic and blog post for you guys. Lucy, are you on here? Because I know that your team was ultimately doing the final product. Or Erica? Oh, Lucy's here. Other one?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, excuse me. My throat is still trying to recover from from COVID. So we are working on publishing that. So we will bring that to the community as soon as possible. It's gonna be a great one. I mean, Rob, you've already mentioned a lot of exciting things that they're on the roadmap. We're just gonna put in writing and make it official.
That's awesome. And the final question is, when Zenny NFT?
Oh, that's a good one. So that's going to go with our tokenization platform. I'm dying for it myself. So I guess the action that we'll take is we owe you guys a definitive delivery date for it. We can't just keep saying in the next couple months. We'll give you an actual date and we'll deliver on that date. So more to come. But I really want my Zenny tokens too.
Awesome. Super excited. So this is it. Thanks everybody for joining us on our weekly insider. We'll see you all next Monday for the latest Horizen updates. Have a great week and a great year. And we'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year.